What is up, y'all? It's Tony Holiday, back at it again, another video. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, and you guys have also been requesting it, so I'm finally happy to be getting around to it. And that is how to sample in Logic Pro 10.5 using the new Q sampler. What we're going to be doing today is taking kind of like an older soul R&B song. I've done a previous video like this, but that was with the old Logic, and we're going to chop it up in the Q sampler and then kind of remake a new song and put it with some boom-bap drums to kind of give it some sort of 90s feel to it. I'm going to take you guys through my workflow and how to set everything up in the Q sampler, and then give you some kind of tips and tricks on how to find good samples for you to chop up and make your own tracks out of older songs. Before we get started, please go follow me on all socials. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's Tony Holiday. Let's get into the video, and yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to chop up some samples with the new Q sampler in Logic 10.5. Let's go. Alright, so you should be able to see my DAW here, you guys. What I have is 4 different tracks. One of them is a track stack, which is the actual vocal chops of what we're going to be doing. One of them is a drum loop that I've made. It's just some simple boom bap drums. All of these sounds are from Tony Holiday Presents Sound Playground Volume 1, which is my brand new sound pack, which came out last Tuesday. It is out now. It's been getting some really great reviews. Thank you to everybody who has already purchased it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. The chops I'll kind of play for you really quick in just a second, and these top 2 are the actual 2 audio files that I grabbed from a song. We're gonna do it from scratch, but I just have these as a reminder of where they are in the actual song. Let's take a listen to what we're gonna be making today. I took an old song by Kansas City Express called This Is the Place, and I chopped it up into this sample. This is actually the song that I made for the promo video for Sound Playground Volume 1. I just thought it was kind of a cool chop and a really good way to show how the Q sampler is good for sampling with Logic. Let's get straight into making these chops, and then we'll add the boom bap drums on top later. The first thing that you're going to want to do is find a song that you want to sample. Now this can take hours, days. I honestly sometimes set aside time for me just to go find samples on YouTube, take them, put them into a folder for later, and then I'll go and kind of groom through them later for different parts of the song that you want to sample. The song that we're using today is called Kansas City Express. This is the place. I have it on my desktop here, so what we're going to do is just drag that from our all files, and you can access this by pressing F on your keyboard, and it's going to drag it into the project. And now this is the entire song here. Now, when you have a song that you're looking for samples, like I said, this can take some time. But what you're trying to do is just find parts of the song that you think you could either speed up or slow down or chop up into making kind of a new melody or variation of the song. For this one in particular, I know that the chop section that we're gonna chop up is back here around the 112th bar. What we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to a 4-bar loop of it. We're gonna take that chunk of audio, we're gonna time stretch it to the project, and then drag it into the sampler. So let's find the chunk of audio now. This section right here where it says this is our place is the downbeat, the one that we wanna start on. We're gonna count our 4-bar loop from this point. Turn flex on, and then go into flex time slicing. And from here, we can set this marker right on the 1 there. That way, when we chop up the sample after this, it's gonna start right on the downbeat. From here, we're gonna do a 4-bar loop count. The end is right here, so we can put a marker right there. Let's just double check. Perfect. In between these 2 points is our 4-bar loop. Now what we can do is right-click the audio region, slice at flex markers. Now it's set it up so that that's our region. We can turn flex off, press TE on our keyboard to get rid of that section. Then we can grab that one, Command X on our keyboard to cut it, Command V to paste it. And now we have this 4-bar loop. As you can see, the end of it doesn't actually end at the end of the 4 bars. It goes past the 5th bar and a little bit into the 6th bar as well. This is where we want to time stretch it so that it fits our project tempo. And we've set it to 95 here because we're doing kind of like a boom bap style of beat. Go back into flex mode, go to automatic or polyphonic, grab the top right corner of the audio region. As you can see, if you go down below there, what that's going to do is actually just extend the region, but we want to stretch it. So we're going to do the top right here. We're going to move this all the way back until we are at the beginning of the 5th bar or the end of the 4th. to make our 4-bar loop. Now we want to leave flex on the actual track because that's what's going to keep it time stretched, but you can get out of flex mode by pressing that button there. This is what we have for our region. So it's already kind of has a cool little sped up feel to it. But now what we want to do is chop this up into a brand new, essentially melody is what we're going to do. Left click this. We're going to press Option on our keyboard so it does that little plus. Drag over to the track side and go Quick Sampler, Optimized, and let go. Now we have our actual 4-bar loop in the Q sampler, ready to be chopped up. This is kind of where it starts to get interesting and intricate and almost where sampling becomes a bit of an art form. We're gonna change this to sliced, and these are all the transients that the Q sampler has automatically sliced it up for us. We don't wanna have them all random like that. You definitely can, there's no rules to this, but for me personally, what I do is I change it from transient mode to beat divisions, and then I go to division and I go to 1. Now it's done every beat as a chop. And because we made it into that 4-bar region where it was a loop, technically every downbeat is going to be in time, if that makes sense. And that just makes it easier for you to find different chops and put them together in different ways. A couple more little things for setup that I'll just go over with the Q sampler as well when you're sampling. Polyphony, we want to change it to mono. That's because we want the next chop that's coming to always cut off the last one, rather than stacking them on top of each other and just getting a bunch of random sound. We want the chops to actually be, well, chopped. The volume we can max out to 0, so you can point that up. I also like to add just a bit of attack to my samples, and that just kind of makes a little bit smoother of a transition between them. The start key you can change here. We're gonna leave it on C. You can change it from chromatic, or you can make it all white keys or all the black keys. If we bring up our musical typing keyboard, Command K, you can see when we press these, it plays the different chops and you can see which ones it's playing there on the actual Q sampler. If you change it to white, obviously it's only going to use the white keys, or you do black, it's only going to use the black keys. The white ones won't work. We're going to leave it on chromatic for now. Because this takes time, I actually just saved the chops that I had from the previous song. I'll kind of show you just a little way on how you would sample. Because we have this as chromatic, and because the beat divisions are 1, when we're inside of our MIDI notes here, you can see all the slices here. If we make them essentially 1 beat long each, and we go up the scale, it's going to recreate our audio region, but with MIDI chops. So I'll play this and I'll show you what I mean. This is where you can kind of do some cool stuff with sampling. For example, if you want to change this all the way up here, that one down, be like this one up here, and this one here, it's going to be all the different chops of the sample, but they've become a new melody in time on the 1 beat divisions. So I don't really like that one that much, but this is just a good example of how to show you what sampling is and how you can make some really cool stuff with it. Again, because I really liked the sample that I made before, we're just gonna drag one of those down onto this here. When you are sampling, a lot of the time you're looking for stuff that's long notes, vocal parts, and those are really cool to sample. In this section here, that's what's playing. I think I took out all of these. And then when this note is played, this G sharp 1, it's actually kind of like a cool long sample that doesn't get cut off. So if we play that, and then I drag down the MIDI from the chops up here, it's not quite the same as the chops up there. So what I also did to kind of make this sound better is I just pitched it up 3 semitones, and that made it a bit faster as well. Typically when you pitch up samples, they'll play faster, or if you pitch them down, they'll play slower. You can avoid this by turning on flex mode here in the Q sampler, but I like the way this sounds when we did pitch it up because of the faster playback. So now let's take a listen to this. Just take a look at the chops and see which ones play. That's pretty cool, guys. Taking an old song, flipping it around, chopping it up, and then using it in a new tempo or a new pitch to give it a totally new flavor and totally new feel. Now, I just made a little boom bap drum loop with the step sequencer here. Again, all of the sounds used in this are from Tony Holiday Presents Sound Playground Volume 1. We have the clapstro snare, the Hublot clap, the Manhattan hi-hat, and the Raptor kick. But let's take a listen with both of those now and just see what they sound like together. Another thing I want to do is actually just to kind of make the drums come through a bit more. Take your sample here, EQ out a little bit of the low end. We'll also add a compressor. Sidechain an instrument to the Raptor kick, ever so slightly compress it whenever the kick comes in. That's really kind of notorious with a lot of boom bap stuff. The drums are very hard hitting and they're very kind of in your face. Also, what I might do, just to again give space for the drums, a stereo spread. One more thing which I did with the song that we used in the promo video, they took another little sample of audio from the same song to kind of create an intro. I'm just gonna find that sample really quick. It's the same process. Just arrange it really quick into an actual beat just to go into like a little chorus. I found the chunk of audio that I wanted to put, guys, for the intro. Notice at the end here, I just put this little crossfade here. What that is if you just go to your fade tool, hold Command, you drag that over, and then you right click it and you go slow down rather than fade. I make a really cool effect at the end that kind of goes into the chop sample. That's how you can take any song, any sample, an old R&B song, a new one, chop it up, speed it up, set it to the tempo of your project, put it in the Q sampler, spend some time finding some chops and putting it together, throwing some drums on it, and it's pretty much a new song. Some of my favorite songs that I find, I'll recognize little pieces from other songs that they've sampled, and then they're putting new drums on it and stuff. I just think it's a really cool way to make music, especially if you're feeling uninspired. This is a really good way to get inspired because you're not really doing a ton of creation. You're more doing an artistic way of creating a new sort of puzzle with it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure to hit subscribe. Follow me on all socials. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's Tony Holiday. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of using the Q sampler and how to chop up samples, and I'll see you in the next one. Tony Holiday, signing off. Cheers.